Hello there and welcome to my channel. Today I will show you how to make pesto alla genovese, commonly known as basil pesto. This is the #1 dish my 4.5-year-old son will eat every single time, so I make it quite often. Over the years I've experimented with different proportions of this recipe, and this is the one that suits mine and Jack's palate the most. I hope you're gonna like it too. So what you're gonna need is 150 grams of basil, 125 grams of Parmigiano-Reggiano, 100 grams of Pecorino Romano, 40 grams of pine nuts, 20 grams of garlic, 1 cup of extra virgin olive oil, and about a half a teaspoon of salt. So first we'll wash the basil and dry it. I've pre-washed mine, but make sure you wash yours really well. So next we'll pick off all the leaves. You can leave the small, soft, tender stems, but the long, sturdy stems you need to discard, or you'll end up with a very bitter pesto. Pro tip, if you have one available, use a salad spinner to dry your basil. Next we'll grate the Parmigiano and Pecorino. Do yourself a huge favor, just always buy the block Parmigiano-Reggiano, preferably a 24-month-old, not the shaker stuff. Most of the shaker stuff contains cellulose, which is wood pulp. Food companies add it as an anti-caking agent, so it prevents the cheese from clumping when it pours out of the shaker. After I grate the cheese, I blend it in a food processor so it becomes really fine. Now we'll make our garlic and pine nut paste. Peel your garlic, finely chop it, and sprinkle some salt over. Use the back of the knife to mash the garlic into a paste. Mash until there are no big pieces left. You can make it using the mortar and pestle way, which is the traditional way. But personally I like to use the back of a knife to make it. Why do I do that? I don't know, I've just been doing it for years. Pine nut paste is even easier to make. All you have to do is crush them and they become a quick powder. Again, use the back of the knife and mash them into the cutting board. So now that our pastes are done, put them in the food processor along with the olive oil and salt and pulse for 10 seconds. If you don't feel comfortable in your knife skills, put everything into a food processor and blend. It'll still turn out great. Now that we have all of our ingredients prepped, we're ready to mix. We're going to layer our ingredients with basil, cheese, then the oil mixture, in that order. This is the best way I've found that it doesn't cake up as you blend. So like I said, I'm going to use the immersion blender. In the traditional way, when you use a mortar and pestle, it doesn't create heat and it won't destroy the flavors of the basil. So we're going to pulse it little by little so the blender doesn't heat up too much and do that. And there it is, our pesto alla genovese, our basil pesto. Super flavorful, so fresh tasting. I absolutely love this stuff. At the end, you should see little pools of olive oil sitting on top of the pesto. That way you know it's not too dry. Thanks for sticking around to the end, and if you like this video, share, like, and subscribe.